So first thing I want to do, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to ground yourself. Take a deep breath. Now I want you to imagine millions of people being exposed to your product or service in the matter of a few days. I want you to imagine thousands of people knocking your door down to get a piece of what your offer is because it is so valuable. Now you can open your eyes. Now I'm going to tell you this. This doesn't have to be limited to your imagination. This is what happens when you go viral. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it, my formula, my recipe that I've developed over the last 10 years of doing it. Now, I'm going to tell you, I don't have any more talent or skill than you, but I'm very learned. I'm very experimental. So I'm going to tell you everything that I've learned in a decade of on-the-ground practice. Because you see, just like you are one funnel away, I believe you are one viral video away from a whole new world. You know the difference between a $1 bill and a $100 bill? The paper is the same, but it's the message on the paper that's different. So today, I'm going to tell you exactly how to craft your message in a way that your audience will find it valuable. You guys ready for that? Yeah. You guys ready for that? Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's do it. So first thing I'm going to tell you is who am I? Well, several years ago, I was a rapper. I like to wear hats too big for my head. I'm from the north side of St. Louis, Missouri, right? We got St. Louis? So, I didn't grow up with money. I didn't grow up having much, right? And as a rapper, I was trying to be successful. So I was looking at all the rappers, all the musicians in my city, and looking at how they were doing it, how were they marketing themselves. And most of them were doing shows, local shows, handing out their CDs. And I looked at that and I was like, that can't be the best way to succeed. So this new thing had come out called YouTube. And my thought process was, okay, I can either do a show in front of 300 people, or I can create a video that explodes on YouTube and can reach 300,000 people. So the ROI was clear in my mind. So I chose to try to do my best to understand digital. Right? So the internet is a place where mice can roar like lions. It is the great equalizer. You don't need money, you just need creativity, right? So for many years, I was this rapper, and I love doing it. I always tell people, hip hop saved my life. But it got to a point where I was miserable. And I was miserable for several reasons. One of the reasons was I kept comparing myself to artists that were doing better than me, right? How many of you guys ever compared yourself to somebody doing better than you and just felt terrible? Raise your hand. If you're not raising your hand, then you lie about other things too. We all do this, right? We all do this. And so that's what I did. I would be like, yo, why is he on MTV and BET and I'm not? Why are they doing a world tour and I'm not? I'm better than them. I felt like that. So, this comparing mind created a lot of suffering inside of me. So I quit. Everybody around me was like, Prince, don't quit. Stay the course. Keep going. And at the time, I had stumbled upon a story from Gandhi. It was crazy how it happened. I'm reading this story, and back in India, a long time ago, Gandhi had organized and led a march, right? It was a big march, thousands of people taking off work to try to support this march. And it took months to set up. But after one day, Gandhi quit. And all of Gandhi's followers came up to Gandhi and they said, bro, how you just gonna quit on us like that? What? How you call yourself a guru, an enlightened master, a teacher? You're not that. You're a coward. And Gandhi, he said something I'll never forget. He said, my commitment is to truth, not to consistency. He said, my commitment is to truth, not to consistency. And so I'm reading this story and I realize, man, I'm being consistent with something that's not true to who I am. So I quit. I quit and I went on this inward journey to try to figure out, okay, if this isn't making me happy, what will? What's going to make me happy? Where is this thing called happiness? Does it exist in the palace? Is it in the cabin? Where is this thing called happiness? And so I read everything. I read every psychotherapy book. I read every cognitive behavioral book. I read every spiritual textbook. And I meditated. And what I discovered was that happiness ain't out there. Happiness is in you. It's in you. You know, Wayne Dyer, rest in peace, he said, when you change the way you look at things, those things you look at change. It's all about perception. Our true nature is that of love. This is what I discovered. This is what I realized. And it's only when the mind comes in and judges things as right and wrong and good and bad that we start to identify with the thinking mind. But if we can step back in a state of stillness, we come back to our true nature. So these realizations pointed me to one direction, and that was love. So what happened was I did a 180. I came back to music and content, but I came back from a different perspective. I no longer had the perspective of, okay, how can I get on MTV and BET and win a Billboard award? Now my perspective was, how can I serve? How can I serve while I'm here? How can I give? And I want to tell you guys this. When I made this shift, my career exploded. I went from maybe 100,000 views to videos that hit 100 million views. I went from doing a show in St. Louis to doing a speech in Paris. Today, my videos have accumulated over 3 billion views collectively. Thank you. And here's the interesting part. Without spending a penny on marketing or advertising. This is all organic. I've been able to speak in front of world leaders. A guy hit me up. He said, we became friends. Brendan came. Maybe some of you have read this book. He's like, can you do a foreword for this book and explain your process? I've worked with brands on projects like Ford, Chevrolet, Bloomberg. And then I met her. She gave me a kiss on my cheek right here, which I've yet to wash my face, by the way. Now, listen, I say these things not to impress you. I say them to impress upon you that when you serve, when your mission is that of goodness and kindness, and you want to uplift the world for their benefit, when you shift from me to we, good things happen. Thank you. But I want to tell you something. You know, I'm gonna break down the art and I'm going to break down the science of how to go viral. But there's a warning, right? There's a warning I want to give you. And the first warning is these techniques are dangerous, right? What did Uncle Ben say? With great power comes great responsibility, right? So these techniques can be dangerous in the wrong hands. And after you do go viral, which I'm sure many of you will, you have to be able to embrace the exposure, right? I meet a ton of content creators, famous YouTubers, vloggers. On camera, they're like, hey guys, welcome to they're all happy. But in person, behind the scenes, mental health issues are running rampant in the influencer space. So you have to be ready. A lot of the influencers, they're addicted to certain metrics, right? Certain views or certain comments. And when you put your identity, your self-worth in another person's opinion of you, you're gonna fail. So you have to be able to embrace the exposure. And don't go viral for something you will regret. Don't do that. You can't put the toothpaste back in the bottle. You can't do it. So here's my thing. I say never post anything you wouldn't want your mom to see on a billboard. And make sure your video inspires people, right? One of my favorite speeches of all time is Martin Luther King. His speech was called, I Have a Nightmare. What? That wasn't it was I Have a Dream. It was a dream because it is through dreaming, it is through inspiration that we move the masses, right? And really make a lasting impact. So always inspire people. Now, what does it mean to go viral? What is viral? What does the word mean? Well, it means quickly and widely spread or popularized, especially by the means of social media. My definition is when enough people say, I know someone who needs to see this. When you got enough people to say that, you go viral. Now, why would you want to go viral? Well, because you can literally change the world with a click of a button. Why wouldn't you? 70% of people make purchases based on social media. 57% of customers claim video gives them the confidence to purchase online. So what's the psychology of sharing? Why do people share? Have you ever thought about this? Like when you're creating content, why do I share videos on my social networks? Well, the first reason is social currency. It's the cool factor. People want to look cool by sharing certain pieces of content. Things like, why do we hiccup? It's like cool, right? It's like, why do we do that? Well, did you know seahorses are lifelong mates, right? These cool facts, right? There's a guy who built his entire brand on these facts. It's called Uber Facts. Went crazy viral. The second reason we share is because relatability, right? We see a video and we say, oh my God, that's me. That's me. Or we say, oh my God, I know someone, that's him, that's her. That's why we share, right? It's because of the relatability. And a rallying cry, right? Things New Yorkers say, things Canadians say, right? How many of you guys are night owls? You got night owls? So if you're a night owl, you probably be more likely to share something like why night owls are geniuses, right? Because you're a part of that identity group. Right? So it's a rallying cry. And the last reason is because a piece of content touches a pain or pleasure point. Steve Jobs said, where does it hurt? Where does it hurt? So I'm going to explain to you exactly how to craft the video. Step one, don't think about crafting the video. Listen, first focus on crafting the title. My 10 years of experience has shown me the title is more important than the video. So focus on crafting the title. This is R.L. Stine, author of Goosebumps. He said, I don't even think about ideas anymore. I just think about titles, right? So create a great title first. It's what will attract people to click and watch. See, if content is king, the title is queen. And we know the queen really runs the kingdom, right? Here's 7 steps to a great title. Number 1, keep it simple, right? Make it simple enough for a 4th grader to understand. What do Einstein and Trump have in common? Now listen, on the surface, you're like, that doesn't make sense, Prince. What are you talking about? Well, listen, Einstein condensed a theory that explained universal law into 1 inch. When Trump was debating against all the candidates, everybody else was speaking at 9th grade levels, 10th grade. He spoke at a 4th grade level. Simplicity is key. I want you to build intrigue and self-interest. The title has to be bold and eye-catching. I've had a lot of success using the word stop and then followed by, so stop doing this, stop doing that. Or before you do X, watch this. I'm going to show you some examples soon. You want to use uncommon word combinations. There's a part in our brain. I study the neuroscience of this. Like, there's a part in our brain called Broca's area. It lights up when the human being is surprised, right? So the mind takes delight and pleasure in things that are unpredictable. I want you to use FOMO, but use it ethically. Dates in the title leads to 20% higher views. Put the date in there, 2020. Brackets and parentheses boost views by 30%. These are easy things to do, guys. And number 7, I call it click food, not clickbait. See, bait is empty. What we want to give people is sustenance that is nourishing for their body, that'll make them strong and uplift their spirits. This is click food. It's not clickbait. Here's some examples to prove to you I'm not lying. Here was a video called Before You Get Married, Watch This. 120 million views, 2 million shares. It wouldn't have done that without that title, I can guarantee you that. Before You Go to School, watch this. 190 million views, 4.2 million shares. Stop wasting your life. Stop. Remember, stop doing this. Almost 1 million shares, 53 million views. Stop calling everyone your friend. 2 million shares, 94 million views. It's a pattern here, guys. Stop saying I love you. 1.6 million shares, 82 million views. This was one, sorry, dear future generation, sorry. This video is very special to me. It was about climate change. It won Nat Geo Awards. Leonardo DiCaprio flew me out to his gala. We premiered it. It wouldn't have done that without this title, right? This creative word choice, dear future generations, sorry. Here's me using some dates on some of the videos, right? So crafting the video, timing is very, very important. Consider these when brainstorming ideas. What news is coming out, right? Or what's going on? What's going on today? Coronavirus, I don't know, impeachment, I don't know. The question you need to ask yourself is, how do you tie in what's happening now to your product or service? How do you do it in a creative way, right? Is there a holiday coming up? When you're creating your content calendar, figure out what holidays are coming up, right? Because people are more likely to share things when they fall on certain days of the year. Is there a Star Wars movie coming out, right? Like, how can you just put on a Darth Vader mask and make a video or I don't know, something silly, something crazy, something that makes sense. Timing is key. See, Justin Bieber, I'm gonna tell you this, Justin Bieber got famous because he would upload covers of songs that just came out. Listen, I talk to a lot of musicians, right? Nobody ever listens to me. I don't know why. But when I talk to musicians, I tell them, listen, it's so easy. All you have to do is make a cover of a song that just hit #1 on the Billboard, be the first one with that video. You're going to come up in the search engine. Like, that's the quickest way to success. So focus on timing. I got a rule called the 5-second rule when it comes to crafting the video. So this isn't about, picking up food off the ground. This is about if people don't connect with your video in the first 5 seconds, they're going to pick up and leave. So how do you capture their attention within the first few seconds of the video? Number one, you want to start with a question. You start with a question, the human mind is like, I want the answer to that question. Right? So they're gonna stick around to find out if they're right or wrong. You might want to talk about an interesting fact, right? Or you want to tell a story, which is my favorite. Here's a few examples of the first few seconds of my videos, just to show you some examples. This one was called I Sued the School System. Albert Einstein once said, everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. What? Thank you. A fish bowl in a courtroom with a tree in the back? That's a shocking first image. Here's another one. Do you know what day of the week you are most likely to die from a heart attack? Take a guess. I'll give you a second. It's Monday. Care to guess what time? It is between 8 and 9 a.m. Do you know what else happens Monday at 8? That is the same day and time people get ready to go into jobs they hate. Yo! Thank you. So I start off in a hospital bed. I wake up, I start talking, I ask a question. You see a guy in the back, he's pouring coffee in an IV. And then it opens up into an office space. Like it makes your brain glitch. It's like, what? I don't understand what's going on. Here's another one. Did you know the average person spends 4 years of his life looking down at his cell phone? Kinda ironic, ain't it? How these touch screens can make us lose touch. Did you know the average person spends 4 years of his life looking down at his cell phone? Kinda ironic, ain't it? How these touch screens can make us lose touch. It's an explosive fact, right? Did you know that the average person, it's like, wow, right? And when you start the video off like that, you capture attention. And here's one more. You are about to hear a strange but true story. That's it, right? You're about to hear a strange but true story. You gotta find out what's gonna happen, right? So let's talk about stories. Storytelling is my favorite technique, right? Stories, I studied anthropology in school, and stories are older than the written language. Stories are ingrained in our DNA. We live our lives. I'm sure you've heard people talk about the hero's journey. We live our lives and construct our lives around stories, right? We all feel like we're the underdog. We have to use these techniques when we create media. Our brains, they crave stories. They say the shortest distance between a person and the truth is a story. And I'm gonna tell you this, great stories are algorithm proof. It don't matter what the algorithms are doing. If you tell a great, compelling story that's emotional, it's gonna get shared regardless. Everybody, when they watch a movie, a TV show, they ask themselves the same question. Even if it's a bad TV show, right? How will this end? Now, let me tell you how to craft a story. So the first thing is, it's like a roller coaster, right? The reason we love roller coasters so much is because they have the ups and then the downs, and they lull us to relax, and they go up again. Constant surprise. We love that. Use that inside of your stories. The other technique, don't be boring. Boring is the cardinal sin. I see this too much. Do not be boring. Don't be boring. I'm going to say it again. I just have to. And I'm going to just say it again one more time. Don't say it with me. Don't be boring. Perfect. So you want to use music because you're going to see Tony Robbins come out, and you're going to notice he uses music to evoke emotion, right? The best speakers, the best films, they use music to evoke emotion. So if it makes sense, if you're not trying to do something that's totally organic for that field, and you just want to do something that's a little more orchestrated, use music. Put nice music underneath you speaking or whatever the message is. It helps. Check out this video.
Introducing the all-new Enclave. It's a minivan to the max, with features like remote control sliding rear doors, 150 cable channels, a full sky view roof, temperature-controlled cup holders, and the 6-point navigation system. It's the minivan for families on the go.
What? Whoa. Whoa. You didn't expect that. Unexpectedness is key. It's crucial. If you want to go viral, Julius Dean was on stage. His videos go so viral because it's unexpected. Magic is in it of itself is unexpected. You have to put that inside of your content. Put unexpectedness. The famous director Kevin Smith, he said you have to learn how to kill your babies. It's like, what does he mean by that? Well, he says if you have an idea and you feel like, oh man, no, everybody needs to see all of this idea. They need to know, and your video is 40, 50 minutes long. Listen, you gotta figure out a way to kill your baby. You gotta shorten that so the audience can digest it appropriately. You gotta get out of your ego, right? And simplify. And did I say boring already? Don't be boring. Don't be boring, please.
Roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Yo guys, this might be the deepest song in the history of songs. Roll your boat. What is the boat? This body, this life form. Are we not 75% water, rowing every time we walk? The song says, roll your boat. Take control of your life. You are the captain of your ship. Stop worrying about somebody else's boat. Don't take their paddles from them and try to row for them. You can give them direction, show them technique, but they have to row their own boat and you have to row yours. Gently down the stream, gently, not forcefully, not fighting against the current, but going with the flow. You heard that phrase before? Go with the flow of life. Because when you argue with reality, you lose. So flow gently down the stream of consciousness. Merrily, 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 merrily. Not struggling. Not seriously. No. Stop walking around like you got a finger stuck up your butt hole. Smile. The number one cause of death is stress. And what is stress? How you're interpreting what's happening to you. Scientists have proven that in your brain, there is no difference between anxiety and excitement. The only difference is how you're interpreting what's happening. Shakespeare said a tragedy is a comedy misunderstood. It is all about interpretation. Be happy. Harvard researcher Sean Aker says that 75% of job and school success is predicted by optimism levels. Not only are optimists physically healthier, but they recover more quickly from illness and live longer. Because life is but a dream. Ooh, are you talking about Inception? I mean, is this a dream? Are we dreaming right now? As we go to sleep tonight, does this world of our strong ideas, passions, and loved ones not effortlessly disappear, replaced with others? See, all the ancient sages and gurus said the same thing. This is a dream, a passing dream. And it is your duty to wake up to the truth that you are powerful and you choose how you see life. Every morning when you wake up, you can either say, "Good morning, God," or "Good God, morning." Peace.
Thank you, guys. That was an example of a content tilt. Everybody's heard of the kid song, "Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat," but you might not have heard it like that. A content tilt is taking sometimes hackneyed phrase, statement, story, and showing it in a whole new way. So now I want to talk about emotion and tone. You guys know that guy right there, Gary Vee? So Gary Vee wouldn't be Gary Vee if he talked like this and said, you'll be okay in your business if you just, be happy and get a loan and, just pray for it. No. Gary Vee is telling you that everything your mom said to you when you were little was wrong, right? Gary Vee is obnoxious, he's bold, he has this emotion and tone, and this is what makes Gary Vee Gary Vee. I created a phrase called emotional charge. When I look at a video, right, I ask my clients a few things when they want me to work on videos. I ask them, after watching a video, what do you want the audience to know? What do you want the audience to do? And what do you want the audience to feel? It's all about feeling. And if we can make the feeling or the emotional charge a 10 on a scale from 1 to 10, that video is very likely to go viral. So in the video, you always want to take a stand. Take a stand. Don't be afraid to be your true and authentic self, right? You have to pick a side, right? Pick a side. Don't just stay on the fence. Pick a side, right? Conflict is good. A positive climax always needs a negative setup, right? So you need tension in there. Conflict is a good thing. And be passionate, right? Like, show your passion. Gary Vee has passion, right? Don't be afraid. Don't always try to be professional. Be passionate. Show that energy. Because what comes from the heart reaches the heart. And be authentic. Be yourself. Don't be Gary Vee. Don't be me. Don't be any. You have been given a gift, right? When you were born, you were given a gift, a voice. Nobody else has that voice. Be you, right? Be you. Be beautiful. So let me talk about thumbnails. I know a few people already touched on thumbnails. This is my experience, my evidence, my data on what makes a great thumbnail. First of all, you have to be intentional about your thumbnail, right? A lot of people create the video, edit the video, and then say, hey, okay, what do I want the thumbnail to be? No. Before you even shoot the video, you need to know what your thumbnail is gonna be. You need to shoot that thumbnail on a nice camera with great lighting. Right? So on YouTube, I've noticed faces do really well, right? You put your face up there. I have this theory. You ever heard the song? Sometimes it feels like somebody's watching me. You heard this song before? I feel like it's that. I can't sing, I'm sorry. I feel like it's that effect, right? When you're scrolling down YouTube and you see somebody watching you, a face on the thumbnail, you're more likely to have your eyes attracted to that. Right? So here's what I also have been evidenced. Thumbnails with text significantly outperform thumbnails without text. All right? That's kind of a no-brainer. And on Facebook, white backgrounds with black text perform better than any other color. All right? So you got to do what works. You don't have to get creative. Don't use pink and blue, just use white and black. So let's talk about distribution. Julius mentioned this. I'm going to show you guys a video. Some of you guys may have seen it a long time ago. This is the double rainbow guy. Some of you might remember it.
Whoa, that's a full rainbow. All the way. Double rainbow. Oh my God. It's a double rainbow all the way. Whoa, that's so intense. Whoa, man. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Woo! Oh my! Wow! Woo! Yeah!
Yeah. Amazing video. But this video was out quite some time until Jimmy Kimmel saw it, and then it went viral, right? So you talk about distribution, one of the best, most effective ways of distribution is having a tastemaker, right? Once Jimmy Kimmel tweeted this, then it went insanely viral. I think that video was already out for maybe a year. So this guy, Tyler, the Creator, he's an artist. He actually just won a Grammy. I followed his career for a long time. In 2011, Kanye West tweeted his video and catapulted his career, his entire career, right? It was because of one tweet. One tastemaker can have that effect. And the case is no different for me, right? I've had tastemakers over the years share my videos, right? This is Will Smith posted my video. Oprah posted my video. But if you don't have a tastemaker, no problem. First thing you need to do is create a distribution plan, right? You got to form strategic alliances with influencers in your category. Julius talked about a share for share. We share each other's comments, share each other's videos. We've been doing that for probably 2-3 years, right? So here's what I used to do when I first started. I made a list of like 50 blogs that I would love to be featured on, or websites. Whenever you have new content, you need to email these blogs and ask them, hey, would you be interested in featuring this piece of content on your website or on your blog? In exchange, I can give you X, Y, Z, right? So when releasing content, I like to use countdowns, right? So I like to tell people, okay, we got 5 days left until this video is released. We got 4 days left, 3 days left, 2 days left. Tomorrow, this video is out. See, because the more attention that you can get on the video in the first 24 hours, the more likely you're going to make it to the explore pages and the trending pages. So it's all about momentum. So when you release a video, again, timing. Make sure you know when your target audience is online, right? And comment, right? It's called social media for a reason. You have to be social, right? So go into the comment section, and every single comment you see, respond back to them. Taylor Swift, when she just started on MySpace, right? She went through every single person's comment and personally responded to them. I think if it's good enough for Taylor Swift, it's good enough for us, right? So triple down on the comments and use people's names when commenting, right? The sweetest sound, right, that a person will ever experience is the sound of their own name. I'm going to tell you the critical hours in social media in order for something to go viral. In the first hour on Instagram, it is very important to develop a lot of momentum. So comment, comment, comment. On YouTube, it's the first 24 hours to make it to the trending pages. And on Facebook, it's the first 48, right? Like the show. So after you go viral, or after you release the video, rather, be patient, right? Be patient with the process. I want you to be humble. Right? I told you, a lot of people, when they achieve this massive success, they lose all of their humility, right? Their ego takes over. It's very easy for the ego to slip in, right? You got to remember why you're doing this. You're not doing it to just get a billion views. You're doing it to serve people, right? right? And I want you to keep experimenting. There's an old saying, he who experiments the most wins, right? He who experiments the most wins. And that's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much. Amazing. You guys are so awesome. Actually, that's not a wrap. That's not a wrap yet. That's not a wrap yet. So, I got something special I want to show you. We're going to premiere a video that Russell and I did, right? It's about leadership. It's a funnel hacking video we did. It's not out on YouTube today, so you guys are going to get a special sneak peek of this video first. So, Russell, where you at, man? Where you at? What's up?
Was that amazing? Thanks, man. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Well, we're excited. Should we tell them the story how this whole thing came about?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's tell him.
Okay, so I'll tell you from my point of view, and maybe he's got a different one. But I'm doing my thing on Instagram, and all of a sudden one day, I'm scrolling through my stuff, and I see that he liked something that I did. I was like, no. It's like he's got to be a social media person or something. Like, there's no way that, like, he's even aware that I exist on this world. And I was like, whatever. And then, like, I don't know, maybe a week or two later, I get this message. He's like, hey, brother, currently reading your book. So amazing. And I was like, what? So, like, take a snapshot of it. I'm saying to every single human being I know on this planet, I'm running around my team like, he knows who I am. This is amazing. I'm freaking out. And then again, I'm trying to be all cool. And so this is cool, Russell. Like, dude, I'm a huge fan of yours. It's so cool. And I was like, oh, man, I'm such a loser. Like, what did I say? Why did I say it that way? And I'm freaking out. And then he goes on a couple days later, feelings mutual now, can't wait to dive deeper into your work. And then on May 30th, he said, hey, brother, I want to reach out to you. I finished your book a few weeks ago, and it was fire. Thanks for giving all the info and love the way you ended it with impact and service. Looking forward to diving deeper. And that's when I was like, I wonder if he'd be interested in speaking at Funnel Hacking Live. And so I reached out. We started talking about this a little bit. And then he's like, well, how about we make something special and something unique for the event, and we premiere it there. I was like, this is literally the coolest thing ever. So that was the story from my side. I don't know if you have a different version.
Yeah, no, that's a real, no, listen, first of all, that's a real text message. That's a real DM. I read this guy's book, Expert Secrets, and his whole story, you know, the potato gut, like come on, like, it's brilliant. The humility that you carry, the love that you carry, the grounding that you carry, not just, you know, I told you this when we interview, you know, you might have things that money can't buy, but you also have the things that money can't buy, right? Like the family and the love that you share, the constant service that you emit with every step you take on this planet. I'm a fan.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. Ah, so cool. So I had a chance to see kind of behind the scenes of this process a little bit as he was like brainstorming and creating, going back and forth and asking questions. Some of the things he was telling you guys about, like, here's the things he wants, like, what do you want to feel? Like, he was asking those questions as he was creating this thing, and then he went in and after the video I might ask him some questions about this, but went in and created this thing and scripted it out, and I got to hear the audio first and then the video, and it turned out super cool. Do you want to talk about kind of set this up what this is about, or should we just watch it? The best way to do it?
Let's just jump in. It's self-explanatory.
All right, should we sit on the couch and watch it from here?
Let's do it.
All right, you guys ready to see this?
Are you guys stupid? I'm the boss, and you all must do what I say.
You're right, sir. You are the boss.
What, newbie?
I said you're right, sir. You are the boss.
Mm-hmm.
You say it without hesitation.
That's right.
That's why today I'd like to give you something.
What is it, newbie?
My letter of resignation.
Oh, really, newbie? You don't want to work here? Big mistake.
Well, as a new employee, your leadership skills make me concerned. And if you don't mind, before I leave, I'd like to give you some parting words.
What can you teach me? I can't wait to hear this. Go ahead, new guy.
Well, sir, I don't think you're all bad. But somewhere down your path, you got lost. I think you used to be a leader, but now You're just a boss.
What's the difference?
Well, see, a boss says I. A leader says we. Bosses are blinded by pride while leaders can really see. A leader always asks. Bosses, they command. See, a boss points fingers, but a leader extends a hand. A boss says go. Leaders say let's go. Leaders consider ideas. Bosses say heck no. See, a boss push you down. Leaders will lift you up. Because leaders give love. A boss don't give a...
What?
Bosses use people, abuse people. Leaders groom people. They look for what's good inside and improve people. Leaders have mastered the art of inspiration. Bosses have mastered the art of manipulation. A boss yells and screams like they're on a TV show. A leader treats the janitor like the CEO. They are compassionate and know the community comes first. Bosses think culture's something only found in yogurt. Sir, ask yourself this question. I'm not trying to be your teacher, but have you ever heard of a world boss?
I haven't.
Or is it world leader, religious leader, community leader, business leader? Don't you see it? A leader is who you should be. A boss is just meager. Sir, entrepreneurs have a big responsibility. I believe we are the only ones who can save our world. Literally. Not politicians, not government. We won't do it religiously. We do it through serving our clients' best needs individually.
Our clients.
But maybe you think good service won't take you far. Maybe you think if you started to serve, our stock will fall.
Our stock?
Well, the great Henry Ford will be appalled, because he said a business devoted to service will have one worry about profits.
Yeah, what's that?
They will be embarrassingly large. Sir, this is a higher call. Does that make sense? We are here to work for a dream, not just a paycheck. We are here to be fantastic and sensational. Not just transactional, but transformational. Profit comes when we are committed to the vision, and we will have the biggest ROI. Return on intention. Sir, I sincerely hope you change your ways and overcome your obstacles. You teach a lot about leadership here. Mostly, what not to do.
Wait. How do you know so much about business? And you said our stock? Who is this guy?
Well, the truth is, I lied. I'm not your employee, sir.
Who are you?
You're mine. I'm the founder of this company, and you need to learn a thing or two about our core meaning. Tomorrow morning, first thing, I'd like to see you at our board meeting.
Hey guys, my name is Prince EA and I want to thank you for watching my video. So I worked on this project with my friend Russell Brunson, who's right here. We believe that everyone has a leader inside of them. We all have a story to tell in a way that will inspire and impact others. So if you want to be a leader or an entrepreneur, then Russell just came out with a book called Expert Secrets, and we're going to give it to you for free. I personally read this book a few months ago and it inspired me so much that I found Russell. I reached out to him in his DMs and I really wanted to work on a project together. So whether you want to be an influencer, an entrepreneur, or turn any calling into a career, Expert Secrets will help you turn your knowledge, skills, and abilities into a powerful message that will change the lives of the people around you and the world. Because you see, we're here not just to make a living, we're here to make a difference and to live our making. Go to expertsecrets.com and pick up a free copy. Peace.
Yeah! Awesome. So cool. They liked it. Wow.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. You know, Russell, I speak at quite a few conferences. I've done things in pretty much every country in the world. And when I came here, the energy that every person seemed to carry was just so positive and giving and loving. And you guys are one of the best, probably the best audience that I've ever stood in front of. Just the vibration. I just want to say that.
All right, so I got a few minutes to ask you some questions.
Let's do it.
And some of the questions I have, because we talked about your framework and your structure, and we had a chance to see that, but I'm really curious, like the creative process for you, like after you had this idea, or like, you know, or how you even got the idea, but then you went back and, you know, all art is created privately before we share it publicly. Like, what does that look like for you, the creation process as you're writing scripts and figuring out the things? Like, how do you do that?
Well, you know, first of all, what I realize is the more I read, the more ideas I have. So the more ideas that come. But if I select an idea that I'm very passionate about, and I have to be passionate about it in order to do it in the first place, but I'm constantly reading about that subject and thinking about that subject all throughout the day, right? So I'm in my phone writing notes of different lines that I might have because I'm just constantly thinking about how can I approach this subject in a way that's never been approached before, right? How can I do not just my best version of this, but the best version that's ever been done of this topic, right? This is what I'm constantly having in my mindset.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. I was just thinking, just watching the row the boat. I was watching backstage, like such a simple thing that I think we all heard a million times. Like for you to take that basic thing and turn it into this message, like I think most of us are looking at things so surface level, and you have this ability to look deep and like find these other meanings that aren't there. Is there a way you like learn how to do that? Is just spending more time with the topics?
I think it's spending more time with myself and you know, constantly being observant of my own mind. I think the more inner work you do, the more successful you're going to be in the external world. So that, I mean, that row your boat happened. I was actually watching a movie. I think the movie was Insidious, right? Scary movie, right? And there was a scene where it was a kid's voice and they were singing that song. It was scary, right? It was like, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. It was scary, right? But I'm like, yo, what? That's the deepest song I've ever heard. And I could only come up with that, with that perspective because I've done the inner work inside, right? To even have that idea open up to me, right? So I feel like, you know, if I was ever to win a Grammy or any award, I would say I never came up with a single idea by myself, right? I was only in a space that was open enough for the ideas to come. And I think every artist has this, right? Like, you know, Beethoven had the muse. Michael Jackson, thank you. Michael Jackson says, I don't know where it comes from, right? But I think when you get into a space of stillness and just observation, you're more open to great ideas to come to you.
It's awesome. Very cool, yes. So, so after you get the idea out and you start writing the scripts and stuff, I know some of your videos, like the row your boat, look like you set up a camera and did it. Other ones are more fully produced. Like, what are your beliefs on that? Does that matter as much? You're going viral? Is it not? Is it?
It's both, you know. It's like like that row your boat got 70 million views, right? If that was produced, maybe it wouldn't have, right? I think there's a benefit to having like raw video, right? Not produced, one take. There's a great benefit to that because it's real. But also the higher produced ones as well. Like it's clean, people love it. So it just depends on where you're trying to go with it, right? Is your message authentic? Are you trying to go like a really just heartfelt message? You know, you might just set up a camera and you might cry. Like there's been so many videos of people just speaking from their heart, crying, and went about a topic that they're passionate about, went crazy viral, right? If you had a red camera or like an Alexa, you set it up, it just wouldn't pack the same punch, right? So it just depends on what type of feeling you're trying to give people, what's the idea, and where's it coming from.
Very cool. Yeah. Of all the videos you've put out there, like what's your personal favorite one and why?
Wow. I think my favorite one is a video. I didn't show this video, but it's called I Am Not Black, You Are Not White. All right, has anybody seen that video? It's one of my favorites because it's a raw video, right? I think at the time, like, I spent my last money on it because I just believed in this idea so much. And it was the first video that Oprah shared out there. It got so much exposure. It's probably the video that I would want shared like at my funeral, right? Because the message is like just that of pure love, when everything else, like, that's what we all want, right? We want to be happy. We want to all feel loved and secure. Despite all of our differences, we all have that common ground. And so that's what the video was about, right? It was about beyond our color, our skin, our gender, our nationality. Let's come back to love.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Y'all want to play it right now? We don't have it queued up. It's a little harder. Go watch it at lunchtime today. It's on the interwebs, I promise. The last thing I just want to say is I want to thank you for so many reasons. You've been a huge inspiration for me, but more so now, and I was telling you backstage this, but my children, we're actually going to be spending some time next week with him down in Puerto Rico, and bringing our family and our kids down. And my kids are like, so who's going to be coming? And so I was showing them videos of some of the people that are going to be there, and they're like, okay. And then I pulled up one of his videos, and Dallin, one of my twins, starts freaking out. He's like, Prince EA is going to be there? He's like, Dad, I love Prince EA. I'm like, you do? He's like, I've watched every one of his videos. I'm like, you've watched, and I went through his thing, and like he's watched every video multiple times. And then he's like, Dad, I even have a Spotify playlist where I have all the ones that I listen to over and over, and I had no idea until like 3 days ago the impact you've had on my son as well.
That's
so like
amazing.
It's such a huge blessing to me. I'm just grateful for you, man.
Wow, man.
So,
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Wow.
awesome. So what's next for you? What's the next step in your journey?
I'm gonna be honest with you, the next step, I was just telling my friend today, I was like, I want to always reinvent myself, like just like I went from hip hop to what I do now to this and that. I want to take some time being still and figuring out how I can be of most value to the world, right? I don't just want to get stanky. I don't want to get stuck. And I think we always have to think like that because it's so easy to fall into the trap. Everybody knows me for this. I'm successful at this. I'm gonna just keep doing it, right? So what's next for me? I wanna just be still and allow what comes to come and figure out how many better ways can I serve the world.
Awesome, man. So cool. Awesome.
Hey guys, my name is Prince EA, and I want to say thank you so much for watching my video. But now, I want to know what you think. Peace.